I was doing the Tylenol and the ibuprofen, like rotating.
Yeah.
And I can honestly say, like, if I overslept or if I missed the dose or didn't take it right at 4 hours, the fever would spike back up.
Yeah.
So then the fever finally went away. I didn't have no appetite. I lost 15 pounds in 2 weeks. But then, then I got walking pneumonia.
Ooh,
so I ended up going to the hospital because my aunt is an RN. She was like, go to the hospital because you could have a blood clot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I go to the hospital, and it was crazy because the doctor I ended up having, that Christian, had the exact same strain of COVID that I had.
For real?
So she basically told me like what to expect, and she was like, it's gonna suck when I tell you this, but it ain't nothing we can
do about it. Yep, that's a real fact. And I think that like
Alexa, turn the ice maker off.
And I'm more susceptible than anybody, like, because I got like asthma, COPD. So they like, but every time I got it, just felt like I was wondering.
I was OPP too. You know me.
Yeah, I've been having breathing issues for forever, but I kept taking some, and I'm like, man, normally I take like Mucinex or something, and it'll usually
knock it out.
And then I'm like, ain't nothing working. And then my wife, she a super germaphobe, so we got a whole stack of COVID tests in the closet. Man, somebody could just sneeze. Go take a test. So normally we take them, but nobody never. And then we was being funny, and I was like, let me see if I got COVID. So I took the test, and it said I did. They took the test. It said they didn't. Then that's when they kicked me and locked me in the basement for real. It's like, I was like, well, if I got it, y'all got it. So we was arguing about that. I said we was already around each other. So guess what? The next day after, they took it again, and literally everybody had it. So they was all mad. My son was mad because so since I detected mine first, my quarantine started before theirs. So we did it each from when everybody actually tested positive.
How long did they make you quarantine now?
I quarantined for like 8 days. They was like 8 days, 7 days.
Like 72 hours or like 5 days now. It's not as...
when I had it was when you had to quarantine for like 10 days.
10 days,
Yeah. But it was crazy because after the 10 days, I still had walking pneumonia. Can you imagine sitting where he's sitting and being out of breath just walking to that door?
Walking to there, yeah. That's dangerous. That's dangerous too.
I told my auntie, I said, I don't know how overweight people do it. I'm about to die.
Hey, for real, like, and look, that's what I got. Man, I had tuberculosis when I was an infant, a newborn. So my lungs ain't never been at full capacity. Like my lungs probably at best be like 70%. That's what. That's why back to previous year. So I can't. That's another reason why I just forgot about it. I smoke or nothing. Like it'll kill me. But my mama was a smoker, and I had secondhand smoke because my mama smoked. Woo. Chain smoker. So she ain't care about none of this. So the older I got, so like if I'm around some hookah, give me like 10 minutes, I'm like, all right, y'all, see y'all. Because it literally felt like for me, the best way I can explain it, so you know how you breathe, like, so imagine I'm going and something pushing my chest, so it's like my chest don't even open to breathe, so I'd be like.
My oldest daughter has asthma, and I always thought that asthma was when you couldn't get enough air in, but it's actually you can't get it out.
No, you can't get there. Mm-hmm. It's like suffocating.
Yeah, that's what that was. And it was crazy because I took her to the doctor, and he was checking her breathing, and he was like, well, she's getting good breaths in. And I'm like, she can't be. She's about to have asthma attack. And he was like, no, people get confused. Asthma, you can't get the air out.
Yeah. So I was in the hospital for like 2 weeks because since I got asthma and COPD, if I ever go to the hospital, I have to take this breathing test before they release me. So you got this tube, you gotta go,
yeah, she did it.
Man, that thing, they wouldn't let me leave until it hit. It took me like 2 weeks to just
like 1,500 or something like that.
Oh my God, I was super mad. Like after a while, I felt fine. I'm like, y'all, my lungs aren't never full strength, so it'll never reach where y'all saying.
They doing it like they had her doing it like it was kind of like it's an exercise where they had her just blowing into it.
Yeah, I got one of my drawer at home.
Consistently trying to make her lungs stronger. She cool now, but we found out that her asthma was allergy induced.
Okay.
It's very rare, and then like if she get sick, like it's literally brought on by like illness. It's very rare for her just to have an asthma attack.
Yeah. I probably get an asthma attack once every 3 or 4 years. As I gotten older, the asthma part has gotten better, but the breathing part pretty much still.
You said COPD? I thought only smokers had that.
Nah, you get I thought you said OPP. Nah. What y'all been up to, man? Well, welcome back, everybody, to Triggered. We back. Bean in the house.
We bike.
The homie Chops in the house.
You know what it is.
No Face in the house. And yeah, I'm here too. But yeah, man, what's new with everybody?
Ladies first.
Ladies first.
What's new with me? Nothing really. I realized I hate being a manager. People are ignorant. I should not have to call a grown adult to ask them why they're coming to work. I absolutely hate it.
Yeah.
What else? I gave somebody a try that's 100% not my type. It's been cool so far.
See, we gotta get back to that. We're gonna get back to that as we go through the podcast because I got a million questions.
It's not much. It's like not a boyfriend or nothing like that. Cause I don't want. I finally came to the conclusion that I find something wrong with everybody because I just don't want to be in a relationship right now. So it's very easy when I feel like they trying to pressure me or whatever in a relationship. I can find something wrong with you.
And then you'll just.
And then I just be like, oh well, I saw because of this. So then I just realized that. Either I don't want a relationship right now, or it's this time it's gonna be on my terms.
When
like,
you say
when
my
I'm
terms,
ready.
What does that really mean?
Meaning I don't feel pressured.
From the other person,
yeah.
or just okay? Pressured into what though? If you was to say like pressure into like relationship, meaning like girlfriend and boyfriend, or pressure into it's just a little bit more than a friendship, and I ain't really.
Pressure into boyfriend, girlfriend.
Okay.
Because like with my ex, we jumped in immediately.
So that's what I was going to ask. Is it more moving too fast type deal?
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So now I'm like when I feel like it.
Okay, on your terms.
And it was one dude. I actually still talked to him. He asked me the other day. He was like, "So are we taking this slow, or are we just friends?" And I never thought about it. And I was like, "Damn, that's a good question." I was like, "I think it may be a little bit of both." Because I just don't want to.
But
Go ahead.
I find that when it's good, it's just good. It just flows into whatever it needs to be. So is it something about the relationship aspect that you just don't feel like dealing with? Or what about it is like, you know
I don't know. I think it was with the one dude. Like, I literally sat back and thought about it. There's honestly nothing wrong with him. But I think he was just trying to put too much pressure too fast. Mm-hmm. Like, texting me, "Oh, I really miss you." Bro, we only been talking 2 weeks. We only went on one date.
How old is he?
Planning trips. And, like, sending me a screenshot of it. And I'm like...
So this was the guy previously, or is this the guy that you given the chance to?
Previous. The guy that I gave a chance to, I actually started talking to before this one.
Okay.
But he had did something, too, that rubbed me wrong way.
How you double back then?
Because it really wasn't nothing bad. I noticed that I was really, like, nitpicking.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, I met him at work. But he explained to me the other day that he had actually met me previously at work, and I was hella mean to him. So when he came back another time, he was like, "Let me try this one more time. Let me see if she's really mean or was it just an off day."
Okay.
So I had went on and gave him my number the second time because I should have. I gave him my number the second time because I was like, I got the feeling that he was just going to keep coming back. So I gave him my number. So I gave him my number, and it was like the next day. He sent me a whole bunch of pictures of himself, and that rubbed me the wrong way. I was like, "Oh, this motherfucker's weird."
Like, look what you missed out on when you was being mean. That nigga say.
So I had immediately put him in the I ain't talking to him weird category.
He was tripping.
So then the other
I'm glad
dude,
you recovered.
Right. So then the other dude, there's nothing wrong with him. It was really just too much pressure at one time. Because I was like, I had asked him, he was like, "I really miss you." This on text message. First it was like, "I missed you today." And I didn't say it back. I just hearted the message.
Missed you today is different. Like, we hadn't talked. That's different. But I missed you today. Like,
then right after that, after I hearted it, he sent me, "No, I really missed you today." I was like,
what is it with these niggas?
I find that guys who do that just really don't have anything to talk about. So they think you want to hear that. And, you know, like if you don't have nothing to say, just be like, "Hey, how was your day?" Don't send me no.
Because I don't want to hear that. Because to me, it was weird. So then, previously, he has asked me, we was just having a general conversation. He was like, "You know, do you like sports and all like that?" And I'm like, I'm not really a sports fan, but if my guy watches it, I'll watch it. But I ain't going to never be that person that be calling plays and shit. I don't know nothing about that. So... he played college basketball. So he sent me a screenshot of like a trip that he had booked. I didn't pay no attention to it. I thought it was I thought he had sent it to me by accident. So I barely looked at it. So then later that day, he called me and he was like, "Did you get my message?" And I'm like, "What message?" And he was like, "About the trip." Mind you, we've only been on one date, and it wasn't even really a date at this point. And I'm like, "What trip?" He had straight went and booked a trip for February to go watch a college basketball game, like something like in Wisconsin, somewhere where it's hella cold. That weirded me out immediately.
Yeah. It was too soon. Too soon.
Okay, let me play
And then I
devil's
already told
advocate
you,
then.
I don't like cold, and I don't fucking watch basketball.
You told him this.
Yes.
Okay, you saw. Okay.
So this is guy from now or before?
Before.
Before. So, but he's not in the picture right now, right?
No.
Okay,
like,
cool. So,
this
okay,
is
so
this is the
I'm
one
gonna
that
talk shit
texted
about
me
him.
and asked me like,
I'm
what
gonna
are
talk
we
shit about him.
doing?
That's it.
And because I even asked Tony about this yesterday, and I asked Tony, I'm like, bro, like, am I tripping? Like, doesn't that seem weird if we only been out one time and you go book a trip?
Niggas.
So then after I told him that they had made me uncomfortable, he was like trying to explain it, like, well, you know, I'm a planner and blah blah blah, and I'm like,
nigga,
bro,
you doing
you
too
can't
much planning too
plan
soon.
that. So
Like,
I'm
you
not
just gotta let
crazy.
shit roll.
I mean,
So-
I might be
so,
crazy,
you know,
but not
man,
that crazy.
you probably aren't crazy, but here is the one thing that people do not do well. They don't read the room.
Read the room.
You gotta know when it might have worked for him before, so he thinks that it works. Instead of learning you and listening to you, he want to do what he thinks that's gonna work. That worked on the previous girl or a girl before that, and that's where niggas fuck up. You gotta read the room. You don't initiate shit like that unless you know she on you. You can't be on her. You know what I mean? You gotta know.
See, he used to like me before. Like, before my daddy died, he had tried talking to me or whatever. But when my daddy died, I cut everybody off. I wasn't talking to nobody. And then, boom, that's how I ended up in a relationship with the ex.
Okay.
So when I had went on and we started talking again, every time we talked, it was always about, oh, I liked you so much. And I'm trying to explain to him,
Don't do that so long.
I'm trying to explain to him, like, I appreciate how much you like me, but at the same time, that's how you felt. That's not how I
So
felt.
if you've had to correct him and he's still coming, that nigga just desperate.
Oh,
Because like I would feel stupid in the motherfucker.
Like,
Like,
it just sounds like to me he
well, damn,
overcompensating.
bitch.
That's what
But
I
to go back to
feel.
what me and talking
I
about, it
feel like
sounds
he
like he
trying too hard.
overcompensating for a lack of self confidence.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of dudes do that.
Yeah.
They don't have the self confidence, so they automatically go overboard in the other direction because they're afraid. Because like usually a man that's not confident, usually he's afraid of losing what he wants. So that he's going to try to do what he believes he needs to do to guarantee that I still got you. So they start thinking of weird stuff like that.
And I
But if
don't
I
view
book this
myself.
trip, maybe she'll... And like you said, maybe the females he dealt with before that worked with his...
You see, I
you know what I'm
don't
saying?
view myself as
what?
that female that'll make a dude feel insecure or like he got. I
But
don't
it's
view
not
myself
It
as
ain't
that.
you.
There's
It's just
nothing you
him.
can do with that.
Yeah,
That's
it's just-
insecurity, self-esteem. Those are self issues.
Hey, but plus
I
you
feel
got
like he just tries. What it is, what I had told Tony yesterday, and I could be wrong. I feel like he's trying too hard, so it doesn't feel
Authentic.
natural. It don't feel authentic.
Yeah.
It feel like
That's
I'm
his bag.
really
That's his
trying.
bag. Yeah. That's his bag. That's what he does.
That's his safety
Yeah.
net. Like a lot of,
Yeah.
like we know, there's a lot of guys that either be money,
Yeah.
cars.
Yeah.
That's their
Things.
bag. That's their
things.
safety net because they know I don't have it in her.
Yeah.
So for the most part, I'm gonna go to my bag. For them, it's material.
And see,
for
the
different
other
guys,
dude-
when I go to my bag, I'm finna give you me.
That's
you get what I'm
it.
saying? That's my bag. Is me.
Man,
The
Yes.
other dude, at first, he was
got
trying
something
to
you can't
apply a
buy.
lot of pressure. He was trying to apply hella pressure. And I fell back. And then I just texted him, and I was like, bruh, we just exchanged numbers.
Time out.
I
Did you
don't-
start with bruh?
No.
Oh,
I'm
like,
like,
this
no.
nigga
cannot read the room at all.
No, this is the
You know
other
what?
dude.
Text you back. I'm like, yeah,
This
that's
the other
we
dude.
need to teach a class. I need to figure a way to
If I
to
say
use
bruh,
my
that
knowledge.
means it ain't
If
going
if I could use my knowledge on how to deal, I need to be like the St. Louis Hitch. I teach these niggas how to get it cracked. I'm sorry, go ahead.
The other dude caught on. I told him, like, before, he was, like, texting me every day, called me every day, and we just exchanged numbers. So finally, I was ignoring him. Then I was like, no, let me just be honest with him. And I told him, I was like, look, we don't have to talk every day. I don't want to talk to you every day. I get if you send me a message and be like,
that's
hey,
a little
how
weird.
was your
Most
day?
people ain't like that. Because most women want to talk every day. You
No.
You
one of the niggas we
more
know.
like one of the dudes.
Yeah.
So that's
He's
another.
just not the one. You're giving him a
too.
But
chance.
no, he caught
that
on.
too.
This one,
But-
that too.
the other dude caught on.
She
and
made
he
a
was
great
like,
point.
The other dude caught on. He was like, okay, I get it. You don't want something.
Yeah.
Now that we got that out the way and he stopped putting so much pressure, now we can talk every day and actually have a conversation.
Okay, so yeah.
Versus them dry ass text messages.
Exactly.
How was your day?
Okay, that's what you were
Good
saying.
morning.
Okay.
Or that GM. I hate that shit too.
GM?
But
God.
If I send you
Am I
GM,
the only one that hate
if I
that?
send
Okay.
you GM, that means I know I'm
He's
mad.
pissed off. That's,
Yeah.
that's what his
But then I
GM
think that's a personality thing too, because some people are more expressive in text and some people are more expressive verbally. So some people say like I text, but I'm not a. I think I got ADHD when it comes to text because I text and then I
Forget, yeah.
be on to
I've
something
been trying
else.
to
and
get
then
away from. I used to be that person that would text you a whole
Whole lot- yeah,
long story.
yeah.
Now I've been trying to get away from that, where I'm actually that was part of therapy, where I'm actually telling you face to face. You know what I'm saying? Instead of or on the phone instead of everything being through.
I think
text
that's
message.
important when you're
Ooh.
getting to know someone
Yeah. I
got
that
this
you
idea.
have to have that verbal interaction. You have to talk on the phone, whether it's a couple of minutes out the day, because you don't know this person's tone, you
Right.
know, when you don't know them.
And the other dude, he had
When
came
you-
to my job after I sent him the message, and I told him, I was like, you know, in my previous relationship, if I didn't respond back right away, if I didn't answer the phone, it was, well, why you didn't call me back? Why you didn't text me back? So I'm telling him, like, you don't have to, don't feel obligated like that you have to text me every day. Had the conversation face to face. We've been cool ever since.
Let me throw something out here then. Let's try something. I'm gonna call it advice to a man. You two gonna give the advice and then you give it. But
Okay.
I'm gonna just make up a scenario as a guy.
Okay.
And like what you think.
Oh, this is fun. Okay.
This show is.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna
Let's go. I
I'm
like
say it's gonna
this.
be extreme, but I'm gonna just give you on the flip side. So
Okay.
my name's Terrell.
Okay.
I'm a 40-year-old man. I'm recently, I've been divorced for about 4 years now. I have 2 little girls. I've been dating since I've been divorced, but I know what I want. I have a lot of experience in dating. When I met this young lady, I ain't got time. I know what I want. So usually when I date someone, I'm very aggressive because I know what I want. I ain't got time for the extra. But it seems as though it never works out. I'm very upfront. I'm very direct. Hey, I miss you. Good morning. How's your day? I may even seem clingy, but I've been married before. I'm 40 years old. I'm just, I know what I want. I ain't got time taking this slow. If it's fast as the natural way, that's the way I'm going to go. But normally I just cannot seem to find the right woman in today's time because they always just want to go out or they always say I'm texting too much, but I'm not trying to date for the next 10 years. So what should I do?
You want me to go first?
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
What should you do? First, you cannot put that much pressure on the woman when you first meet her. Because depending on the woman, 9 times out of 10, that is going to scare her away. Because a lot of times our mindset would be is, why is he moving so fast?
Now, but when I date, I explain these to the women. I say, hey, I've been divorced. I'm looking for I'm not looking for it right now. I'm looking for my forever. So
Are you
I'm
saying
very
this on the
upfront.
first date? Because if you saying that on the first date, that would scare me. That's
Well,
too much
I've
information.
said it on.
That's too much information on the first date.
People out there, I'm just making this up as we go, so it's not me. But I've said this on some first dates, and I've said this maybe later on down the line, but I feel like at the age that I am now, I need to be upfront and honest. Hey, when I meet a young woman and I date her, I let her know, like, I'm not just looking to take you to Roof Chris so you can eat. I'm looking for somebody I can build something with, but it just never works out.
I think in that case,
And it would scare you. And I'm very polite, I smell
it can
good.
because you have to remember, you were married before,
Okay.
not necessarily her. And then if she was married before, she may not be looking into trying to jump into something right away. That may have been what she did in her previous marriage and it didn't work. So she may be trying something different now. Like, okay, let me take this a little slower. Let me actually get to know this person better, or what I believe, like, get to know this person better. In my case, I could say, in some relationships, had I took my time to get to know the person better, the relationship wouldn't have never happened.
But what if my mentality is, I'm not gonna get to know you if I take you to the movies on the first date.
That's
if I do something more, I like to do stuff
because I'm a person who may go to sleep in the movie.
I'm gonna kind of act like, oh boy, I've done stuff like, hey, I booked this trip, let's go here, because my intentions are not to, just to sleep with her. It's to, let's get in the element to where we can really, really get to know us. Because I've dated and I've wasted 6 months, 7 months because it just takes so long because we just doing this little stuff here.
But in that case, though,
it doesn't work out with anybody.
Is it really a waste, though? Because think about it. Would you rather date this woman for 6 months and then come to the realization that it's not working versus marry this woman and then 6 months later come to the realization this ain't it?
But I feel like I'm not getting any younger, and my marriage was great in terms of what marriage is about, and I missed that. So I'm not just looking just to have fun.
You miss companionship.
Yeah, you can't take that into your next possible relationship.
Yes.
I would say that absolutely state your purpose when you're dating with someone. Hey, I'm dating for a purpose. I'm older. I want a wife, so forth and so on. And you can do that without throwing it on heavy on the first date.
Yes.
First date, go get some coffee. Go get some ice cream. Something where you guys can talk and see if you vibe. I can tell you right now, it's not going to take you 6 months to find somebody
Just act
I don't know if coffee's a good thing.
Well,
now, but in my look,
because in the movies, every time they say you want to go get some coffee, they end up fucking.
Now, I was going to say that, to be real, in my dating, I've actually had 2 one-night stands because I felt as though they took advantage of me saying what I wanted. So it's like, oh my God, yes.
Well, and then they want the one for you.
Now, I'm still a man. I'm single. I got needs.
They don't necessarily
but I've had situations like that too.
Though. You know how sometimes you can go out with a person, the first date may be absolutely amazing. The second date may be absolutely amazing. Then the third date, you may be like, you know what? I don't really know. Like, let me see.
Look a little funny.
The key is you have to give the person the opportunity. Like, she may end up being the one, but you're not going to know that if you're trying to rush her because of your time schedule.
But you won't have to rush her.
But I don't feel like I'm rushing her.
Right. And you won't. And the person that you're dating, if they're into you like that and you guys are into each other, it will flow naturally. Nothing is going to feel like a rush if you guys have the same goal, or if you have this chemistry that's unmatched and so forth and so on. No one's going to feel rushed.
Exactly.
Don't want to be rushed. I mean, like, if they're saying, we're moving too fast, then they're not into you. I mean, honestly, I believe that. Because if I'm feeling a nigga and he like, hey, come, word, let's go. If I'm feeling him like that. If I'm not, if I'm on the fence,
so
then I'm like,
that's what we were earlier when I said he just not the one. Because
Yeah.
I'm sure it's a nigga that within that same time frame can offer that same shit and you jump. So it's just you're giving him a chance. It's just
okay. So what's your advice from a guy perspective? And do I look like a simp? Do I look lame?
He acting like he know me sometimes.
How do you feel like I'm coming off when I go on these dates? Now look, I'm a fly. I'm still a cool head, so I'm not like acting all lame. Oh my God, I love you. He's like, I'm still suave, you know what I'm saying? But I just be real, hey, I'm looking. Disclaimer, we're just this is not me.
Right. Hypothetical.
This is a very real scenario though.
My nigga, you coming on too strong with bitches. What you need to do is figure yourself out. Because it's apparent that you keep dating chicks that are nowhere near where you are mentally. So you're playing in the wrong pool. So you have to know yourself to know what you're looking for.
Well,
you gotta fall back.
I thought I did. What I'm saying,
bro. You thought you did.
So how
that's
do
why we talking now.
So how do I find a different pool? Because I feel like the women I've dated, they all been different types.
Where you meet them at?
Well, social media. I went on Plenty of Fish.
Well,
that's
at a jazz concert, and then like a relative hooked me up. I mean, but I'm just shooting my. I hate to say it like that, but I'm just shooting my shot everywhere because I don't want to limit myself. So I'm kind of just open.
First of all, you can't empty the clip, man.
Okay.
Can't do that. But you just gotta learn, man.
My
My best advice is read the room.
Let me ask you this question though, bro. This is how I feel about the dating scene. I feel like I'm dating a bunch of dudes. It's like I'm running across women. Yeah, pause. Pause. Yeah, pause. I feel like I'm meeting all these women who have mentalities like my partners. Mm-hmm. So I feel like I'm caught in the web because I guess I'm looking for that.
So what?
Let me chime in on that.
I'm just making this.
Where you meeting them at? I'm looking for these type of.
I gotta chime in on that. You do have. There are some women out here that do have a man's mentality, and that's how they are naturally. I'm best friends with a woman like that.
Okay.
You also have women out here that have.
Where did it begin? I want to get her on the show. It started somewhere.
She was raised by her daddy.
Okay.
A single father raising a female by herself. He don't know how else to raise
product of her environment. But still, it became natural. But
you got some women
instinctively
that they were hurt. Or they done been through some shit. So naturally, they gonna put up a guard, like, to protect themselves. I would be that woman.
So when you say that, you feel like you're dating a nigga. Like, what is it?
It's like a lot of women I've dated, they just say they either just want sex. They just want to have a good time. I haven't ran into a woman that's just like, I am looking for love, even if it's not you.
Hey, man, love the 2 kids, man. Journey. You need to sow your royal oats, nigga. That's my advice.
So I just feel like my life is going nowhere. I feel like I'm a good catch, but it's just like I just can't find. Well, first I can't even find nobody to even start. First of all, it's like it just never.
Do not allow your relationship to define who you are as a person. So feeling like you're not going where you need to go or feeling like you're not enough, it's not the overall forecast of your life. Maybe you're not enough in the dating field, or like I said, you playing in the wrong pool. Man, you meet your good girl, go to church. That ain't true no more. I don't know where.
But now we getting somewhere. A lot of stuff that was true is not true no more.
No. I mean, the grocery store, you have to look outside of what is normal. Yeah. You have children. Grocery store.
Chemistry.
The gas station.
When you
little random places like that. Just outside of what the norm is.
So what I'm catching up on, and I could be wrong, okay? Seems like you two have more instant turn-off buttons than like easy. So so let me ask y'all this question. So is it fair to the other person, male or female, if you do have I'm easily like, because you don't really give the person a. You know what I'm saying? You don't really give that person
not fair.
A chance.
I mean, it's definitely not fair, but something has happened to me for me to do this. So unfortunately, it is unfortunate for me and maybe some other guy that they may have to take the extra mile. And I may miss out on a great opportunity because of
people
where
always
I am.
do. You almost ruined your fucking life by making me chase you all this time.
You almost missed that. Hey, it was nice too. You should have been there, boy. It was real. It was real nice. Can I be funny though? I promise you, the lady that married y'all, I thought she was gonna sing some show tunes.
She is.
Man. What is wrong with you?
No, it's real. She looked like one of them. She wasn't dressed weird, but she just looked like a performer.
She's about to get to singing some other or something. I was like, she a little different.
She was a little weird.
But it was I'm gonna say this, and I'm being real. That was the most authentic atmosphere and wedding I've been to in a long time.
And
the reason why I say that,
y'all did look very good.
Of course it was y'all.
You look absolutely beautiful.
But on some real stuff, to have as many people come from out of town, and everybody that I saw was genuinely happy for y'all. And that's hard. I officiate weddings. And it's hard to find people at...
You officiate?
You didn't know he was a minister?
Yeah, I'm an ordained minister. Look.
He was a pastor. He started... you didn't know that?
Reverend Chops.
Reverend Chops.
So, Pete, when I
That's the name of the episode. You ain't even taking no notes at you.
When I get married, you gonna marry me.
Something kind of recap.
He gonna say we got you.
And then Q gonna decorate. Boom.
Your sister, your sister. I'm officiating her wedding. But to see all the thing that hit me, because it's of course I know y'all love each other. I know the relationship. But to me, what shows when a relationship is good is the response from the people that's close to them. Yeah. You get what I'm saying?
I can agree with that.
And to see how your daughter was, like, you ain't see it. She was getting a little wobbly, like, you know what I'm saying? She was getting real emotional, and it was just more or less like everybody there was like, no, we here for y'all. You get what I'm saying? Like, to be in Vegas, people could use it as an excuse to be on some other stuff, but they was really there for y'all. So I'm gonna say it was.
I can't lie. I was definitely at home waiting on him to upload pictures.
It went so fast.
Yeah, even though it went fast, it was really it was really dope, and I felt bad about the dinner afterwards.
Oh no, but y'all had to leave. So
it took kind of long after the wedding.
Trust me, we was at the restaurant forever.
Yeah, see, we had to get up at like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
I was like, man, look.
Nah, you was good.
Hey, look, I'm so silly though, because I was fresh. I just started walking through the mall, and then people be like, "Oh my God, you look bad, my little ego a little bit."
Oh man, so you out there get signing autographs.
Yeah, it was all people. I was like, okay, now I'm gonna go to the room. He go to sleep.
But T Grizzly clean.
Yeah, that's a whole nother right. It's like the chicks. The naked chicks that trying to take a picture with you. She just, hey, T Grizzly. Hey, look. Stop playing with me.
Oh, man.
But it was great. I had just in a few days I was there, I had a good time. Like,
I'm happy for y'all.
Now, who you was talking to with that advice shit?
Oh,
where were we going? You got to come back to character.
So
you got to come back to character.
You was talking about the instant turnoff.
Right.
Yeah, the instant turnoff.
I've already accepted that I may miss out on a good person. Mm-hmm. I probably have. And I'm okay with it.
See, people like you can't say nothing bad. You be like, that's perfect. But there are so many people that have unrealistic expectations. They do shit. And one of the things that I want to talk about today, I had on my list when we started, but it's cool how, let me see how did I word it. Sorry, guys.
Why he looking?
How can you tell someone, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
That they're the problem? Has there been an issue for you? Do you have a friend that's always XYZ happening and they're always the root of this problem? It's not
Yes, I
terrible.
have a friend like that.
It's not the people that they blame. But have you ever told that person that?
Nope.
I tried. It'd be so hard because.
Do I know your friend?
One of them you know, one of them you don't know. It'd be hard to tell a person that they both females. It'd be hard. Well, I think you might actually know the other person too. It'd be hard to tell them that because when you try to start that conversation,
I know them.
They gonna flip it. When you try to start that conversation, they flip it where they the victim.
Name when you finish.
They flip it where they automatically become the victim.
Yes.
So the conversation be damn near impossible because now it's like, well, it's only because they did this. Mm-hmm. And I have friends like that. I have exes like that. They are the problem, but they never the problem.
You are the problem.
But see, I'm like that in general with people. I feel like, like in anything, I'm like, look, do you got the results that you want? If you don't, then it's you.
Yeah.
With myself, anybody. Like, I heard anything I say or anybody else say, but I heard everything. But where are the results then? If you know what you're doing, then you should have what you say you want. So obviously, that's just how I be.
It's a lot of unrealistic expectations. Like,
because y'all said something that was so rich just to even admit that. Some women won't even admit that. Like, nah, I probably have missed out. They're just it's because. So it's good. No, that's good.
Yeah, that's why I said it's great to see
that. I've done the work. Well, I ain't gonna say done the work. I'm still doing the work where I recognize that if I did miss out on a good person or who could have been my future husband, I just wasn't ready for that person at the time. Yeah. So that's what I mean when I say I'm okay with it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, if something may happen later or I might be able to spin the block and we can see what happened, but if that never happens, I'm okay with it.
Yeah. See, something like my man Tyrell. You? Yes. Oh, yeah.
Yes, I read
What did you just say? Maybe we can spin the block. Okay, let's spin the block, but maybe some. Oh, God damn it. I forgot. Damn, God damn. Trying to be funny, I forgot.
But I think too, not as Tyrell, this is Chops now talking. Okay? But my mom's side of the family, I seen it was nothing but women, small, but most of them, till they died, they just accepted. They wouldn't change anything about. Cause I feel like this in a relationship, just me. but I can only speak for myself. What helps me in my marriage, I do have to take some L's and some sacrifices on my end for the sake of the relationship. Mm-hmm. You know, I just mean some battles you just got to lose for the bigger picture. You get what I'm saying? Some things, but like the women in my family, they wasn't trying to take no L's, and I'm like, and then you will never. That's so unrealistic because you got to compromise with a person. You're gonna have to take some crap. I don't mean beating you up.
Why do so many people all automatically say that compromise is settling? I don't think so.
I don't agree with it.
I don't believe. Hey,
I think the only problem with compromise sometimes could be if you're the only person compromising. Because then I think maybe at that point, maybe that's when it becomes settling. Because I know in previous relationships my goal is I want you to be happy. So it's been definitely plenty of times where I ended up doing something I really didn't want to do or taking time out of my day, you know what I'm saying, to do something that maybe I really didn't have time to do because I wanted him to be happy. But I wasn't getting that in return.
I'm going to add this. Okay,
go ahead, you first.
I'm going to add this. I honestly believe that compromise is a form of sacrifice, which should be a form of a love language.
I think it is.
Because I love a person so much that I'll take... And I do that with my wife, my kids. But that kind of is,
that's acts of service.
Love language.
I think it would be a part.
I think it would be a part of love.
I love you enough to where,
I don't know if that's a language. I think there should be.
A role like that, though.
I think everyone in a relationship should.
No, I'm talking about bigger now. I'm talking about like how they just like that with their friends. They'll be okay with them on the short end of the stick for the sake of the friendship, or for the sake of the whatever.
That's why I think.
You know, because I ain't gonna lie, I'm kind of like that. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I've always been
people pleaser.
If I really
I know
rock,
I used to be
people
people
to me is too general. Cause I'm not there like that with everybody. If I really rock with you, then I'm willing to take the short end of the stick for the sake of our friendship. I've just always been that type of a person.
I understand that.
If it's 30-70. But I rock with you, that to me, so if I ever be like, I'm cool, I feel like I'm justified because I'm like, hey, I didn't really took some short end, you know what I'm saying? I'm just,
for me, if it's always 30-70 and it's never 70-30 on the other person, to me that looks more like settling as opposed to compromising
or misusing somebody.
Or taking advantage of the situation. You shouldn't always have to give 70.
I'm willing. That's probably better. Not that I always will do it, but I'm going to be the one, I feel like I'm going to be the one that's going to be willing to take the loss.
It's just how you start.
I had a friendship.
I just like,
I had a friendship
that's
where
why my circle be so.
I didn't even.
It's not a lot of people that
I had a friendship where I didn't notice it. Somebody else had to point it out to me. That was like every time they had like a birthday party or any type of get together, I was always there. And don't get me wrong, I always had fun. I enjoyed myself. But like if I had like a birthday party or something, it was always some reason why they didn't come. Right. But I never tripped off of it before, you know what I'm saying? Because I had never really been one of those type of people that look. If I have a get together, I'm not counting who not there. I'm paying attention to who is there. So it took one of my other friends to be like, you ain't never noticed like every time when you do something, they don't be there. It's always some reason why they, you know what I'm saying, like why they wasn't there. And then that's when I kind of had to sit back and look at it like, damn, like, why is this? Why are you not coming through for me like, you know what I'm saying, like I do for you?
I think sometimes, don't forget your question too.
That was good, keep on. I got you.
I think sometimes too, us that are willing to do that, we end up spoiling the other party because they get accustomed to it. And I think sometimes when they stop thinking about us, I don't think it always started from a place of ill intent. It's just, we human. We get used to something like, oh shoot, always you get what I'm saying? Take it for granted. Like I know I think you've made a stat like this before.
What was it?
You may have. I could be wrong. But like if people are used to you coming through,
that's
a form of them getting spoiled. They're like, I know. J.O. gon', you know what I'm saying? I don't think it's always start off intentionally, but you do it so consistently and so much.
Yeah.
Not saying this is true, but I'm just saying this is kind of like how you just said. Like I be like, hey, he gonna sing at the wedding. You know what I'm saying? It's like like you said, he gonna sing at your wedding. Is this a form? Because look, it can seem crazy, but it's like, or how you sung at mine. It's like it's an expectation that probably shouldn't be there. But
it's the friendship, so it is what it is. Yeah, I get it.
That's
in a lot of friendships, the person that gives the least. So the 70-30's in their favor. Sometimes you have to question their motives, question if they're really your friend. You know, because like you said, you want to take the short end of the stick, but reading the room still, you got to know, because you got to know what a person is intentionally doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you said that you had somebody. Did you get to the root of, or did you understand why that person might have been like that with you?
What, like not coming through for me?
Yeah.
I kind of just came to the decision myself that I'm not going to be readily available like I was before.
I think my personality trait, taking the short end, that definitely comes from a place of trauma though. Because I'm thinking, me and my sister lived in an Annie Malone home when we was little, and I used to get teased a lot, and I didn't have no friends. And I, as a kid, desired to have friends at any cost. So I think I said this before, but I said it again. At one point, I was hanging out with these white boys who play hockey, not because I liked them. I just was tired of sitting by myself at the table. And I think over time, before I ended up moving with my dad, I think it kind of just was in me, because it was like me and my older sister, when we was little, we was so polar opposite. Look, she was light. You remember light-skinned girls was in style. So she was a pretty girl. I was a short, fat, little brother. So we moved a lot. So every time we moved, she would become the most popular girl, and I would be nobody. And as a kid, you don't like how that feels. So after a while, I was just became, I guess you can say, people pleaser. But it was like, but my intentions was, but I want friends. I want to have sleepover. I want to have. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I always say, like, I don't know if y'all think you may have mentioned this. I don't know if you went through this. Like, I went through 2 years what I call the cafeteria walk of shame. When it's lunchtime in grade school, it wasn't nobody to sit with. 2 school years in a row. And that's a hard psychological trauma to deal with as a kid, where you got all these kids. Kids can be mean, and wasn't nobody really inviting, so I just sit by myself. And
I'd have been the person be like, come roll with me. That's just how I was.
I never really But and that's how I say it's like it's night and day living out here in North County. But then when I moved to U City, I already knew some people. It was the exact opposite. It was, hey, come on. But when I was under 12, it was
the same thing to tell Tyrell.
See, mine was.
You gotta go and play in your pool. You gotta go where you appreciate it.
You appreciate it.
That's a learned behavior. Like, I got used to taking the short end of the stick at an extremely young age, because I'm the middle child to my dad, but my dad didn't claim me. My dad didn't think I was his. Okay. So I would be in a situation where I thought my stepfather was my dad. So my mom and my stepfather got divorced. They like, no, this is actually your dad. I always thought he was just my sister daddy. So then they was like, okay, now you finna go with him. And I'm like, this motherfucker don't even like me. Yeah. Like, why would I want to go in? Like, so I just got used to just being, and I think to this day now, if y'all ever see me out, like, even though I work in the bar, like when karaoke and stuff happen, they be like, "Ben, you don't do karaoke?" I be like, hell no. Like, I'm used to fading off into the background. Okay. Like, that's easy. That's very easy for me, just because that's what I did with my daddy. Then my mom, I'm the baby.
Okay.
But my mom was going through some shit, so I was more like her shoulder. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Everything she went through, I went through with her. And it was very easy just to kind of just fade off.
Fade off, yeah. That's exactly how I was in grade school. I would have paid $1 million to have a friend at one point. You know, because I told you we moved every year too. Yeah. So it was like every year I'm in a new school.
I did that for a minute too.
And then it's something I make a friend at the end of the school year. And then guess what? Next year, we ain't going there.
I would make a friend, and then I'm going to a whole nother school the next year. And then, how you gonna get to see that? Your mama finna take you over there.
Yeah, for real. And my mama in the generation, she ain't really cared too much about that. She had her own stuff going on. Like, hey, we gotta live here,
and then when you get to a certain age, friendship groups are already formed.
Yes.
So it's kind of hard to
penetrate those.
The one friend that I have had since I was 7 years old is my friend Aisha. We never went to school together ever.
Okay.
We became friends from church.
Wow.
So I knew my grandmother was extremely involved in church.
We only went to grade school together.
But you know what's crazy is I think the only reason why we're still friends is because I didn't meet her through school because I transferred school a lot. But church was consistent. My granny was going to church. It don't matter where we moved. My grandmother was going to church, and her dad was solid. Like her, as long as I known her, her dad only moved twice.
We was on the west side. I was there till I was 20, and then the house burned down. Then I moved out there.
See, Aisha grew up. She lived in Bluemire was right across the street from my church. Then her dad got a house on the south side. And that's where they were until we was like grown adults and living on our own. Yeah. So it was like, even though my home life wasn't consistent as far as moving, she was consistent as hell.
I'm going to add this then. This is a real. Look, we ain't talking about Tyrell no more. We talking about me. I think about it. But see, it all goes together as I'm sitting here thinking about it, because I always think about like what made me start wilding out and just knocking down so many different women. It was because, man, I never forget this. In school, I didn't have no friends, but then I wanted a girlfriend. You know, you start to get to that age, and none of the girls liked me. You know what I'm saying? None of the girls like, man. I'll tell you the story real quick.
It was always because you.
She might watch this too, but she family. So it just so happens though. Hey, look, y'all. I was in 7th grade. I'll never forget this. Going to a school called Kirby Junior High. Yeah. And the teacher had separated the class. And so I ain't really had no friends. So he made me sit kind of at the popular table. And the girl was looking sad. And this dude was like, hey, why you looking sad? He was like, you got Tyrone sitting there with you? She was like, he fat. He might eat me. No. Everybody was bugging her, but she like a really good friend now. She came back around.
Damn, kids can be mean as shit.
You talking about like somebody's heart was in their teeth.
That was...
you talking about...
I remember we talked about now, you say you're not quick with it. I lit her ass up.
No.
Like I told you, since I was little, I'm like, but my family like that. All we do is Joan. Like, I don't give a fuck if we mad, sad, whatever. It's gonna be some Joan. Am I lying? I can't talk to my mama without talking shit. With my sister, it's something funny. I'm gonna say something about them. They gonna say something about me.
That's how my family is.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's like I'm quick with it. I was a fat nigga my whole life too, man. But I was like, nigga, fuck yeah.
Yeah, the mouthpiece though.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah.
Let me add the dating part.
Too, yeah.
So my whole goal was just to have one. You know what I'm saying, girl? That's all I wanted. When you don't have, when you young, I just, you know, that we was going to Saints and all that.
To say I got a girlfriend.
So I ended up, when I went to, that's when my life changed when I moved in U City. That's when everything was up from there. I ended up getting like a girlfriend in high school, but she broke my heart. Like I was on. Look back to what y'all saying. I was ready to.
And that's when you became a hoe.
Get married. Look, I was like 17, 18. She was a grade under me, and I was writing her letters like, man, I'm ready to get married, you know, because that wasn't in my heart to just knock everything down. I'm like, I just need one. Boy, she was like, hey, you move a little too fast for me. We need to take a break. It broke my heart. Man. Like, I put my whole life in the letter.
And then
check this out.
Yeah, and then after that, it was, nobody was safe. Nobody was safe.
I never had one of them moments. I just think, I was just like, boys are groomed to big shit. Have a bunch of girlfriends. It's just what I was. I guess, you know.
I went through my whole phase, if that's what you want to call it, or when I was outside.
I was just being me.
Me and my kid's father. when me and my kid's father broke up. At first, I was always, I have to have a boyfriend. I want a boyfriend. I'm a one woman, one dude.
Yeah,
my kid's father, when we were together, it was right before we broke up, I found out he was cheating on me. And this is before I knew he had another baby. I just found out he was cheating on me. And it wasn't with just one girl, it was like multiple. Yeah. And that's when I got to the point where I was like, I'm going to show you. I can do you better than you.
Hey, I hit that's what you want to hit. Look,
you know what? From there.
I kind of hit like, so,
right.
You know, I just thought about something. Like, shit be coming, man. I compartmentalized about so much shit.
I was terrible. I used to drive his car to the other nigga house and everything.
And she kind of got on her cheating. I was really off her, but bitch, I wasn't all the way done with you. I was like, hold on, what the fuck is this nigga for? So, but then I was an asshole. So I was like, well, you know what? No. And it's just like, what?
Hey, fact.
I started around. I sound like DMX.
Hey,
I'm talking about bitch. That's why I was, on what they want when he named the girl.
I
About 3 kills.
When I knew, listen, y'all. When I really learned the game with women, is when I worked at Party City in Olivet. And I was knocking girls down that worked with each other, and they knew about it. And
I
it
thought
was
you
like,
were saying you was fucking with the moms
no,
coming back
I
and
was
get the birthday
so,
shit.
When I realized, like,
let me tell you why that
I'm like,
works.
this you can actually.
That
Just
works
be
because that works. They can know about each other because it becomes a competition.
Yeah.
That's why it works.
I'm just gonna let you know right now.
For real,
Well, you had a question. What was your question?
Y'all be going, so I forgot. What we were talking about was more interesting. So it would have like took another turn. I like where we were going.
But look, so after I found out my kid's father was cheating, it was a double negative. He was cheating. He wasn't taking care of home. Like, he wasn't paying bills and shit. And something in my mind just clicked where I was like, I could show you better than I could tell you.
Oh, shit.
I was driving his car over to dude's house. I wasn't coming back in his car. I'm like, bro, I got you. Like, this what we doing? Okay.
So when you went through your whole phase, do you feel like that was revenge?
Yes.
Moving
when
forward?
we were together,
I
wouldn't really call it a whole phase. At the end, when I did cheat, it was the dude I was actually dating before I got with him.
Okay.
But I knew it would crush his soul.
Spin the block ass.
I knew it would crush his soul because the dude that I was dating before him was on a whole nother different scale. Like, this dude was 5 years older than me. He sold drugs. He had his own house, multiple cars. So I knew when he found out,
still with him, you
it was gone. Because he don't do none of that no more.
Right.
But I knew when they dad found out, it was gonna take his soul.
So, hold on, y'all, ladies. Let's be real. Look at this question. It just popped in my head. Okay.
Let's go.
Not now. Not 40. Okay. We talking about y'all in y'all 20s, 25.
Yesteryear.
What was so wrong about the guy that wanted the square life? It seemed like you get what I'm saying. It was like
life had to beat their ass for them to realize that the good guy.
Yeah, the good guy
the one that you should fuck with.
Because the more I think back, everybody I mistreated and I dogged, it's like they stayed around like a cat for the milk. But it's like I knew guys that was some real stand up. Want to be right, and they wasn't getting no action.
Well, I don't know how to take that.
I mean, you get what I'm saying? The gist of it, I ain't trying to...
Even the dude that was older than me, that I dated, I can honestly sit here today and say, like, he didn't take me through, like, all that drama, like, like, he actually taught me a lot. Like, a whole bunch of shit that I can honestly say I don't think I would have learned it, but probably later in life.
Yeah.
I learned this at 17 years old.
He fast-tracked you.
Yeah, and me and him actually still cool to this day. But, like, I don't think it's nothing wrong with, like, the good guy. I think it's just that sometimes that if you want to call it, quote-unquote, the bad boy, they just seem excited. It's just excited. It looks fun.
Excitement seems like it trumps, like... What
because
you
when
really
you're 20,
need and want.
When you're 20,
you get what I'm saying?
When you're 20, are you really thinking
comfort or the thrill?
Do you want the comfort or the thrill?
It's always gonna be.
When you're 20 years old, when you're 21, 22, 23, are you really thinking I'm going to stay at home and read a book? No, you thinking
a relationship didn't mean that.
Right. It's just
the bad boy doesn't always be the dude that take you through. Because if I describe my ex, I told y'all he sold drugs. He did a whole bunch of illegal shit, but he never treated me bad.
You know how many women I've heard saying, that's my point though. They like the thrill of the dope boy. Yeah. Like we was around dope boys, right?
Yeah. We're not saying that they're the worst people.
Right,
It takes for the people that went through it with them niggas, for that whole lifestyle to beat them over the head and they done fell off, and the nigga that they want now, they want him. Like,
but
I wanted the old version.
A lot of women I know nowadays, their story is all the same. In the 20s, I dated the dope boys.
But I didn't like the thrill of it. I did not like the thrill of it because I was always scared that he could get caught, he could go to jail.
That was the thrill.
But that somebody could snitch on him, anything.
Okay.
I always was scared
Was you a
of
trap
that.
queen?
No, he never brought it around me ever.
That's cool.
But I can honestly say, like,
did you know he was doing it for real?
I knew he was
You
doing
ever
it for
done
real,
a nigga
but
who act
I
like
knew
he sold dope, but his parents had money?
Right.
No,
That's why I was asking. But go ahead.
But I knew what his end goal was.
Okay.
His end goal wasn't, I'm just trying to get this money and I'm finna go buy cars, clothes, and shoes,
so
and all that
he
type
was
of
smart.
shit. He took his money and invested it in, like, bought shit.
He was
that
older,
that nigga was a
to
hustler.
get him out.
Okay.
He's only, at the time, well, he was older than me. I was only 17 when I met him. He 5 years older than me.
Yeah,
But to this
18-year-old
day-
dope boy and a 23-year-old.
I bet his shit still together.
All his shit still
he
together.
a hustler.
He owned
That's all it was.
property. He
Yeah,
owned property. So I knew what his end goal was. He wasn't that nigga that if he would have died, if he
hustler,
would have
not a drug
died,
dealer. He
they wouldn't have
hustler.
had no money to bury him with. It wasn't one of them type of niggas.
Why didn't you end up with him?
Because something had happened where his name got mentioned in the case, and he thought it was a chance that he could, and it only got mentioned, like no charges were ever mentioned or whatever. But he was like, he just separated himself from everybody and everything.
Okay.
But we still cool to this day. Like,
But no
I had a
chance.
conversation
No
with
chance
him.
of-
I had a conversation with him. This was some years ago, and he told me to my face that he felt like my oldest daughter should have been his. Yeah, but I mean, after we broke up, it just
now
never worked. But we still cool. Like, I know I could put it like this: if I was to pick up my phone and call him right now today and be like, "I need boom, boom, boom,"
got you.
he got me.
Would you like to add something?
Those are good.
Oh, I was
she didn't
never
have
that
none of those
girl.
stories.
No, I was
Oh, really?
never. When I found out
okay.
my boyfriend at the time, because I've just been in relationships. When I found out he sold weed,
okay.
I was get me
You
out of
was
this
done.
house. I don't want to be around this shit. So I was never the thrill seeker, or I never wanted the dope boy. I mean, I had uncles that got ran up out of the state and houses that got in. I would never.
Now, is that because your upbringing?
Never.
Like your parents kind of kept you,
I mean,
or just...
yeah. I mean, we always lived in nice places and had nice things. I was just never in that environment. So
okay,
maybe that's
okay.
I
probably
think mine
what
was
it
different.
was.
My daddy and my uncles were street
was in
niggas.
it, so
And
yeah.
they were in it, but they were
Not
they weren't
around
on
you.
the street. They were street. They was in the game, but
Okay.
I never saw it like
They were higher level.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
would have. That's how I would
That's the
describe.
part. That's the part that
that's how I
intrigued
would
me. That's why I
describe
could
my
never
ex.
get into selling drugs like that.
I would describe my ex like that, but like when my daddy and them, like my dad and my uncles, they was just straight hustling street niggas. So
Yeah.
to be around the dude that sold drugs, again, I didn't like it, but
So what do
my
y'all...
dad and my uncle standing on the corner. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't a big leap.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
What you think about the phrase, I forgot the rapper that said, a few rappers have said it in different ways, when they be like, would you rather cry in a Toyota or a Maybach?
Neither.
Yeah, fuck that
Like
terrorist.
this.
I'd rather not
Fuck
cry.
that
I don't want to cry.
You want to cry at this,
Exactly.
or do you want to deal with this? Okay,
Either way, at the
okay.
end of the day, I'm still
I'm
hurt.
crying, yeah.
So I don't want neither one of them.
Okay.
Like, if I could go back and choose, I honestly would say I still would have gotten with my ex.
Yes, okay.
I would not have got with my kid's father. However, I don't regret it because I got 2 beautiful daughters out of it.
Of course.
But
yeah.
if I could have went back and changed some shit around, my ex probably would have been their daddy.
Okay.
Okay. Hey.
Hey, if you're out there, no. I'm just...
Call
Well, all right.
Shit. I don't know. I'm. It's gonna sound crazy.
Say it, triggered.
Go ahead and say it.
Triggered.
I'm everybody's one that got away.
So why do you say that?
Cause I am.
Oh,
The fuck you mean, nigga?
I'm being devil's advocate.
No. That's some bullshit. He never could have got away because he was never in it for the long haul. So
Okay, that's what
you know. So
okay.
Listen, wait. The handful. Not. I mean, of course, I was. Yeah, that I was
okay.
never even. That a lot of bitches never even running.
Right,
That's what I'm saying.
okay, that's
So,
okay.
like-
Now, okay, I get what you're saying.
So, but I'm saying, yeah, the serious relationships that I've had, I would say 99% of them.
I don't know if I was that. I can
I know
say
for
that
a
most
fact.
of my exes that I was straight in a relationship with have always tried to spin the block at least one time.
So, but time out. Let's talk about spin the block. What's that?
now my spin the block is not come back to fuck.
So what is his though?
With
Because you said they tried to spin the block.
You know, I have 2 where they were trying to come back like for a relationship, but I'm like, you cheat on me and I forgave you and then you do it again. It really ain't no coming back for that because I'm never gonna be able to trust you.
Okay.
Well, why don't you trust that he's going to cheat and just trust that he's going to protect the house?
Because I don't want to be with a cheater. I could protect my own house. Right. Like,
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
That would be settling, not compromising.
That would not be settling.
That absolutely would be.
Okay,
I
so check it out.
can't be with somebody I can't trust. Now, you can't rebuild trust. You cheated on me. I forgave you. We moved past it. I didn't bring it up. You do it again. Now, at this point, to me, you have shown me that even the trust we rebuilt, you fucked it up. So now I don't trust you ever.
So how was this trust broken? Of course, there was infidelity. Or, some cheating. Some extracurricular activities. How did you find out?
The first time I straight caught him with the girl. Not in the act, but I caught him with the girl. In the car together.
You rolled up on him? Or you came up, he was at home?
The first time I was pregnant. This is when my kids found out I was pregnant. He was at his cousin's house. And I was calling his phone. He wasn't answering. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to go over there. I had this woman's intuition. So I'm going to go over there. I go over his cousin's house. And plus, I knew his wife. I knew his cousin was cheating on his wife. So I knew his wife was out of town. So I said, I'm finna go over. I just got off work.
He was just stupid.
I'm 6 months pregnant. I see his car in the driveway.
Yeah, he was stupid.
So I go up to the door, the front door, and you could look
right past him.
You could look right in the window. I see his cousin on the couch with another girl. Now they're not doing nothing, but they on the couch. So I'm knowing, okay, he's not upstairs. He must be around back. So I go around back. It was one of them basements, like where you could just walk to the door, go down a couple of steps. So I went around back, and I'm on my tippy toes out there trying to look in the window. And I could barely see, but what I do see is him in the house with a girl. All I can see is the top of the head, but I know you see me calling you, and you not answering the phone. No, so I'm like, I know, because it was like one of them doors with the windows like way up there. Yeah, so I'm trying to stand on the top and I could barely see. I just see 2 heads. So I knock on the door. I'm banging on the door. He won't answer the door. I didn't call you. You ain't answer.
Smart man.
So I was like,
you and the baby would have been locked up.
I said, boom. I went outside. I didn't leave. I just moved my car. Well, my car was no longer in front of the house. I had just turned it around so I could see when they came out the basement, when they came out. Probably about 20 minutes later, I see him coming out with her, and they like holding him, whatever the fuck they was doing. So I didn't even drive up on him. I politely got out the car. I walked up on the, and mind you, I'm big as shit, pregnant. I was like, oh, so this what we doing? She was smart. She didn't say anything. Because I don't have a problem with her. My problem is with him. Because one thing I've learned learned is that woman don't owe me no loyalty.
Right. Exactly.
So it's no reason for me to be beefing her unless she decided to say something. Right. She didn't say nothing. He told her, he was like, go ahead and go on. She get to walk her to the car or whatever, and she looked back for a second, like looking at him, and I was like, nope. Don't do that. She left, and then
do something safe.
It was just me and him outside, and I ain't gonna lie, I was outside clowning, and it was more so the simple fact, like, damn, you gonna cheat on me and I'm pregnant? Like, goddamn, like, how much lower can you get? Yeah. So then I'm pregnant. I'm emotional. I ain't talked to him for probably about 2-3 weeks. He called me. Pulled up on me. We ended up getting back together. Was that
your first emotional outburst that day?
Yeah, kind of.
You ain't hit him or nothing?
No, so your whole pregnancy up until that point, there was no mix of emotions or none of that shit that had you super hormonal and all over the place?
No, not for real.
That's what's up.
So first baby or second baby?
First. So after that, about 3 weeks went by, we got back together.
He trying to get you to the track.
After I had my daughter, that's when we officially had got back together. And I can honestly say I never brought it up again. For the most part, it was so much shit going on with the baby in the house and everything. I ain't forget, but damn near forgot.
Mm-hmm.
So I never brought it up again. And then he started getting back on that same shit, not returning phone calls, not answering, coming home late at night.
See, I was speaking a little bit earlier in this podcast about me figuring out how to monetize the shit that I know. I need to figure out how to make money. He did it all wrong. Fuck, he ain't answering the phone. He ain't doing this shit for. So it lets me know he's lying to this bitch. You gotta tell her the truth.
Mm-hmm. So
you gotta tell her the truth.
He just asks, hey.
What I found out later was after me and her broke up, because this same woman that he cheated on me with then was the same girl that he ended up having a baby by.
So he was in a relationship.
The girl is the same girl he had a baby by that's 3 days younger than Nana, my youngest daughter. Yeah. Her birthday is May 25th. His son's birthday is May 28th. Okay. He had just been telling her the whole time that I'm crazy.
Now, okay, can I ask you this question?
Hey, brother, like that.
He just been telling her the whole time that I'm crazy.
More questions.
So segue real quick.
Yeah,
so
go ahead.
Do they have a relationship with their brother?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You gonna talk about his son? That's kind of weird. You sound like the white people, my dad's brother.
No, like I would never ever be that woman that be like, "That's not your brother. That's their brother."
Okay.
When I make sure they have a relationship with him, they have an older sister. I make sure they have a relationship with her. I'm not ignorant like that. Like I don't want him, so there ain't no point in me being mad at the kids.
Why do women believe? Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. That is the lamest reason that guys give when they got another chick. Oh, she just crazy. It's like a lot of women.
I would never believe no shit like that. Because if she crazy, you probably made her that way.
That's why I was asking about that hormonal shit. Because I'm like, well, you probably found another bitch. You over there driving them crazy. Couldn't say it.
That was my first emotional. We were still having sex and everything.
No.
Yeah.
But she might look. You just said I pulled up. I was huge. He might have been used to the smaller you.
You could have been.
How was she?
And it's no excuse.
I know it's not an excuse. I'm just trying to help.
She was about the same size I was before I got pregnant.
They said, why you spreading on? This nigga fucking up.
Hypothetically, does it matter if you got cheated on? If they look better than you?
Absolutely.
Look, hey, listen, more
are you
talking on top? No, is the second an upgrade or downgrade? Which one is more offensive?
She better not be a fucking dog. She better be fine. I would prefer. She better look like something.
She bad.
Yeah.
The pressure for if you get cheated on and the woman is bad, is that forgivable then? You know, like I get it.
No,
I get it. Like you shouldn't have did it, but
it's not
so
forgivable.
I can see how you kind of.
It's not forgivable, but you have to remember. You got to remember that women.
Oh, you won.
And I'm not saying we compare ourselves to other women, but at the end of the day, we're naturally competitive. So we're looking like this woman, baby, beautiful. The girl he cheated on me for when I first saw her, I was like,
this bitch?
I look better than this bitch.
Yeah. That's how you feel. You had a nerve to cheat.
But
what if she knew how to roll a good blunt? What if she knew how to give good head? What if she's a great listener? Everything ain't about looks is what I'm saying.
You have to remember, I don't know her.
Yeah, I know.
I just see her.
I know, but I'm just telling you to process it. It may not always be about that.
And then plus, I know enough about men. Y'all, if a woman cheat, usually, not all women, we're cheating because there's something emotional missing.
Yeah,
when y'all cheat, y'all just trying to fuck. You
That's
don't
very
really give
true.
a fuck.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Before we get out of here, so I have the question of the evening.
Okay.
Wait, did she finish texting?
I'm listening.
What?
So with your understanding of how things work with cheating, it's an emotional situation with a female or a woman, and with a man, you said he just trying to fuck.
Yeah.
Why leave the nigga because he cheating then? Because all you really care about is the emotional part.
No.
That's right.
I'm gonna let you go first.
No. Once you make that commitment to tell me you are with me exclusively, you gave up your right to just want to fuck. If you just want to fuck, then you go out and you be
understanding
single. I understand that. So if you're telling me once you make a commitment saying, "Hey, we're exclusive," then you're giving up the option to just
want to fuck.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, well, how the bad chick come into play if I can't just? So I gotta like the bad chick?
No, it's just that.
I'm saying,
because you have to remember, we don't know she could cook. We don't know she could roll a blunt. We don't know that she's a good listener. all we see is what she looked like,
all you
or
see
what her
is
body
the
looked
competition.
like. That's it's naturally, but
we're
for
filling
me,
in a blank for you. It's just what it is.
but
If you cheat on me, then I already know that there's a possibility that you're emotionally attached to who you cheated on.
Yes.
Because I know.
So that's going to sting more. I'm going to be in the bed like, dang. Like,
if
you
y'all
don't get a nigga back like that.
You get what I'm saying?
If y'all cheat on us,
you could be like, okay, she just had a big old booty. I can see. All right, you ain't thought twice.
However,
y'all know that dudes do that. They don't think about it.
However, you have to take into account.
Saying that you should do
like what Q said about when you said you wanted to be committed to me, you gave up the right. So when you cheated on me, even though you was just trying to fuck, you didn't betray my trust.
What about your work husband?
You betrayed our. You didn't messing with the trust. You're messing with the commitment. You're messing with, we feel disrespectful, like it's so many things that come into line with it.
So question.
To y'all, it's just a fuck. To us, it's so much more.
But okay, I will give you your props because you're far more advanced than most women because you understand it. So in your becoming evolved as a woman and growing and getting older, do you see yourself getting to a point where you understand this part of it? And it's not considered a betrayal of trust. It's not considered a violation of our relationship. Do you ever see... With what you know and understand, do you ever see yourself getting to a point where that could be? Okay, answer both of them.
I understand it. I don't condone it.
I ain't saying you condone it.
Ain't nobody condone it.
I mean, I understand it, but I'm basically.
She don't like that smoke weed. She tell me go in the basement.
I'm saying I understand it because I've had this conversation with a bunch of different dudes. I understand it, but for me personally. That ain't gonna never work.
Okay, I'm just asking.
I'm not gonna be that woman.
It was just something I wanted to throw out there. I mean, just because.
But I do
a lot of the friction between male and female, man and woman, it's a lot of times. It a lot of times boils down to the way of thinking, and typically, emotional thinkers. Typically,
yeah.
Right. I
typically,
I can
logical thinkers.
We are.
Yeah. Typically.
So why let the man lead?
No. But
I could agree with that women can be emotional thinkers, but I don't think y'all are always logical. I think a lot of times y'all think this is what I want right now.
Of course. Yeah. Of course.
So but logically.
But logically what? Logically, if you were thinking logically, you would know I ain't gonna knock this bitch down because I can fuck up my home. That would be logical thinking.
No, the logical thinking would be to make sure that this does not reach the home. If that's what he was doing at the time, that's the logical thing because he's already made the decision. He's right there.
But the logical thing would be not to do
the logical thing.
So anyway,
I like how you tried to spin it.
You was cooking my boy.
Wait. Baby.
What?
Do not be triggered. But seriously, hey, we about to wrap this up. We're gonna continue this conversation off air, but yeah, triggered every first Friday. Good to be back. We got Bean in the building, the homie Chops in the building, No Face with all the aggression today in the building. And y'all in the building, like, share, subscribe, tell somebody to tell somebody, man. People
then
just
tell
having conversation. Yep.
Right.
And then tell your mama.
There you go.
Yep. And tell your mama to tell all her church friends.
There you go.
They don't want to listen to me. Oh, bless his heart. Like, share, subscribe. Triggered every first Friday.
This has been another In-House Media recording.